Thank you, Jackie Lopez. I want to thank you again for agreeing to be interviewed. I am currently taking a course on health aging pathways, and I'm interested in hearing about how you define health and what you do to maintain health. I want to remind you that this is an interview is voluntarily. You do not have to answer any of the questions at any time. You may stop this interview, and all of this information will be kept confidential. I want to also make sure that it is okay if I record this so I can go back and insert direct questions onto my paper. Does everything sound good?
Everything sounds good.
Awesome. When and where were you born?
Portland, Oregon.
Awesome. And is that where you currently reside?
No, I live in Hillsboro.
Hillsboro. Perfect. Do you live alone or with others?
I have a renter.
Nice.
But I live alone, basically.
Okay. How would you identify your race or ethnicity?
I'm white.
Okay. How many years did you go to school?
I got an associate's degree, so that's what, 12, 14?
About 14 years, yeah. 14 years
14.
of school.
And then I also did 2 years of beauty school.
Okay.
And I got 2 licenses, one for Oregon, one for Hawaii.
Okay.
I also did a certificate for sterilization and for the hospital cleaning hospital utensils, equipment for surgery.
Perfect. What is your current family status? Do you have any children or grandchildren?
I have 2 children, a boy and a girl, and I have 10 grandkids.
10 grandkids.
And I have 4 great-grandkids.
Oh, okay. Okay. Have you ever worked outside of home?
Yes. I've always worked.
Perfect. Good. Awesome. I'm going to ask you some health questions. How would you define good health?
At my age, good health is just being mobile.
Okay. Being mobile.
But at your age, when I was younger, it was, that you didn't have any bad diseases like kidney failure or, diabetic or some diseases like MS, that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Things that would mess up people's lives because it's a lifestyle to live.
Nice.
I have friends who have MS, and it's a lifestyle to live that way.
Okay. Nice. Well, good to know. What would you consider healthy aging practices that you have?
Let's see. I've never smoked. I've never done drugs. I like lots of vegetables, but that's just my preference that I enjoy them. I like the flavor, not because I'm a vegetarian, but that's what I would choose.
Okay. That's good. That's really good. Have you seen change in your health over the years? From childhood till now?
Yes. Anytime that I got hurt as a little person, it shows up really strong at my age.
Okay.
So when I was 4 years old, I fell off of a bike that was way too large, and I did something to my knee, and back then they didn't have medical to be able to see what I did. So I've always had to be careful of my knee because it doesn't work right since the accident, but it's gotten progressively worse as an older person.
Okay. Good. Good to know.
So wherever you break your body when you're young, fingers, arms, it will show up. It will hurt real bad when you get older.
Scary. Well, can you tell me any physical activity that you do on a weekly basis?
I like to work in my yard. I clean house part-time for 3 other people besides my own as a part-time job.
Good.
I like to stay active. I like walking and hiking and being active.
Nice. Can you tell me what you typically eat and or drink during the week?
Salad. I like lots of salad. Green salad with lots of stuff. Tonight I'm having soup, and my soup has coyote squash, zucchini squash, carrots, potatoes, onions, garlic, and chicken.
Oh.
And then I'm going to fry some potatoes, and my potatoes have green pepper, onion, garlic, tomato in my fried potatoes.
Fried potatoes.
So lots of veggies.
Okay. Well, switching from health now, this is considered still health too, but how do you manage your stress? Do you think that, plays a role in health too?
I'm sure it does, but I don't do very well managing stress. I have a lot of anxiety.
Okay.
That's one of my downfalls.
Yeah, stress is a hard one.
Yeah, I have anxiety attacks. I pull out my hair. I grit my teeth. All of those anxious things that you do.
Right. Good. Well, the last question I'll leave you with is, do you have strong support from your family, friends, or others?
Yes.
That help continue to want to stay healthy, or is that just personal too?
Most of it's just personal. Most of my friends are invalids now. They're not active because they're way overweight. They have to have canes, walkers, and wheelchairs. So a lot of people my age are not healthy at all. They're very sick. So.
Awesome.
Ask me the question again.
Oh, was it, do you have a strong support from your family?
Yeah, I think I do.
Good.
Although everybody's real busy.
Do you think that your family also supports good health?
I think so. My family's good. I've got, again, when I compare my family compared to others, all of my grandkids and my kids are upstanding citizens. They're not drugged out. They're not in jail. They're not fighting among each other to the point where they're taking each other to court. They're not fighting cancer. So I'm very lucky that they make good choices. They may be different choices than mine, but they make good choices.
Yeah. Good. Well, is there any advice you would like to share with me about health and things that I could continue to do better for myself as I get older?
Try to make the best choices you can, because every choice you make and every choice you don't make has a consequence. So even if you choose not to make the choice, you still have to deal with a consequence. So it's better to make the choice. It may not be as good as you'd like, but it's your choice and your consequence, not somebody else's.
Right.
And I don't know, you do pretty good. I'm proud of what you've done so far.
Awesome. Well, that's all the questions I have for you. Thank you very much for taking the time and letting me interview you. That
And
was
just
perfect.
remember, don't pass out in rush hour traffic. It's not a good.
Yeah. Well, I should stay on top of it now, like you said, so it doesn't come back and bite me in the butt later. Because
That's
I
right.
will have to deal with those consequences health-wise, too, as I get older.
Yeah. And I worry about football and things like that because wherever you got banged real hard, you're going to feel it when you're older.
Yeah.
You know, if your finger got bent back in volleyball,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to feel a sore finger when you're my age.
Mm-hmm.
So just take care of your body. Don't do daring things that will break you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome. I hope you get an A on your paper.
Thank you.